Hello everyone. Welcome once again to our Pro Academy. In the last two episodes, we have been discussing about root cause analysis and defect acquaint. In continuation of that, today also we will discuss one more incident and we will understand the root cause analysis and the need to have a record of defect acquaint, which I have been insisting in the previous two episodes as well. So, in the first episode of this series, what I have spoken was about a rattling noise. That noise was nothing to do with anything with the vehicle, either mechanical or electrical, nothing to do related with any component or anything related to vehicle. It was an external thing. A spectacle was in box and it was rattling, isn't it? In the next episode, where I have spoken about a problem which was existing in the vehicle itself, a rarest of problem which is never seen, which will be rarest of rare, unimaginable, such kind of a problem we have discussed about leakage in the petrol tank pipe. Today I'm going to discuss about an incident which is basically to do with purely with innocence, or I may say it in a more definitely, if I had to call it, a negligent by a shop floor person, which leads to a complication. The incident which I'm going to tell you now is dates back to 2000, 2001, somewhere between that time frame. I was a service manager of a Tata dealership, and one fine day, a well dressed gentleman walks into my cabin and he introduces himself. He says, an entrepreneur, have a small scale industry. And while talking, he says that he is a very passionate about Tata products, not only vehicles, any Tata product. He says, I'm very passionate. And he also says that he had a Tata mobile. He has a Tata, still has a Tata mobile for his factory activities. He had a Tata estate which he has sold and bought a Tata Safari. And this vehicle, and he also discloses that he has never come to workshop because his driver is to bring it and whatever required it is to be taken care. So he never felt need for him to come to service center. And this time he is compelled to come to service center and talk to me. And he says that in his Safari, repeatedly high pressure pipeline, fuel high pressure pipeline is getting cracked and fuel is leaking and messing up the whole engine compartment. He says, this third incident, already two times I've replaced the pipe, and again, the third time, the pipe has given up and there is a lot of fuel leakages. So, he requests me rather, in spite of having that problem, he's such a gentleman, I would say, he requests me, please look into it, do something so that the problem is taken care. I was very taken aback the way the gentleman presented himself, the way he spoke to me, the kind of regards he showed towards Tata product. So I was forced to, rather, I was immediately walked with him towards the vehicle. While doing so, I called one of my best mechanic, a senior mechanic, elderly gentleman who was that mechanic. I called him, come, we will have a look of this vehicle. There is a problem which is reoccurring, and it is the third time the car has come for a similar problem. He came to me. We went and we opened the high pressure line. That bolt is mounted on that fuel pump. And before opening, when I just put my hand on the pipe, I could make it was very loose. And as soon as you open, the collar of the pipe, at the end of the collar of the pipe, fell off. It was given way with the pipe, and that was the cause. And I could make out the problem. In fact, I started thinking at that point of time, because this was the third instance, possibly the pump might be building up high pressure. Just as a flow of thought, it came to my mind. When we replaced the pipe, that senior technician who had come with me, he replaced the pipe. And suddenly he said, sir, hold on for some time. He went inside the workshop. He was an engine mechanic, to engine room, and he brought a clamp which holds the two pipe together. In between there is nut and bolt and two clamp, upper and lower, and both the upper and lower, when it is tightened, holding two pipes, the pipe gets holded together with the clamp. He brought the clamp and fitted. Then somewhere I got a clue. There is something, because the clamp, when we opened the pipe, it was not there. So somewhere I started feeling there might be something which he has done. Then I told the gentleman, sir, let me have a thorough check today. Then we will clean the car, and by tomorrow you can let me keep it starting for some time. Let me take a trial of myself. If there is anything happening, let me confirm this time myself, and we will deliver the car. And he was okay, obliged, and he went. As soon as the gentleman, I left him, he moved out of the workshop. I came back to the car, called that senior technician again. I told, remove the clamp. I asked him to remove the clamp. He removed the clamp. I could observe the pipelines were rattling. Slowly, it was not stable. It was rattling. Then again, I asked him to put back the clamp. He tightened the clamp. Then I asked the gentleman, my senior technician, what do you think? This might be the problem? Then he was very amused, and he said, yes, sir, this is the main problem, because in absence of this clamp, the pipes are not steady. Moreover, very high pressure when it comes along with the rattle, it may further move, and this collar point is the weakest point, it might have broken. And it was very logical and very technically very correct. Then I understood, we put back the clamp, and we kept the vehicle starting for some time in the day. Then we took for trial, and I felt might be problem is resolved. We delivered the car to the customer, and as a preemptive measure to keep a close watch on that, very frequently I started calling that gentleman. 3-4 times I called him in the span of 10, in the gap of 10 days, a week or something like that. I started calling upon the vehicle just to build him build his confidence, also for me to understand is everything going right. So after 4 5 calls, that is over a period of 2 months, the car was running okay. Then I realized, see how important these small clamps, a screw, and a circuit. Many times we neglect those things. And when I was investigating how this has happened, I came to know in the earlier instance, the first time, this pipe was fitted by a junior most technician. Unfortunately, he has forgotten to put back the clamp. So that led to series of similar problem and the kind of anguish in the customer. And of course, I should compliment that gentleman. He is still a good friend of me. He came with a kind of a because he had so much of confidence in Tata product. He was not annoyed. He came just to request the problem might be resorted. So this was one of the incidents which I distinctly remember till today. Don't you think we should spread this information to our fraternity, bring awareness, the importance of this kind of a minor thing, which sometimes we neglect and which leads to a complication, which will be very much harassing kind of a thing. So that is where I say that we should keep a record, share this information among our fraternity by registering, recording as a defect acquired. Hope you all of you might have started by this time. Whatever problem you are facing here and there, you start keep recording of those things. And as I've been telling in the previous episodes also, please, if you feel okay, please share with us so that if possible, we will bring it to the larger audience. So that's all for today's session. Thank you very much. Be safe. Keep smiling.